2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice.
Hey, Luke Ski.
We got a whole bunch of people here this week.
We do have a whole bunch of people this week. We have, first, let's start with Anthony Kapfer. How you doing, Anthony?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. We also have the fine folks from Sweats and Spinners, Matthew Knight and Gary G. Hi, guys. And their special guest on this song, Kate Hart. Welcome to the show, Kate.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Not your first time on the show, but your first time on video, so.
Sure.
Welcome to episode 537 of the Funny Music Podcast, Fire and Marshmallows. That's my title, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it.
So.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, I can finally officially completely say that the animatic I was making for Wally Wingert is 100% completely done!
Yes! Yes! Finally! Congratulations!
And I can say that because literally before, the show, an hour ago, I drove out to Wally's townhouse to pick up the check for the end of the work. He emailed me earlier today asking for one other little change. So I made that change and I sent him a new file. He's going off to some gig somewhere for the weekend, and he's going to pass the final version on to his agents and other people who are going to do things with it. And he said the agents may want to make some changes based on, I presume, I mix, there's some pop culture references in here, and most of the time I tried to make them vague enough, close enough to be recognized, but vague enough that, we wouldn't get sued over it or whatever.
Right, yeah.
that wonderful zone. So, I think if they're going to ask me to do anything, it'll probably be to, change or eliminate, a couple things like that. But I'm not even going to worry about that because that's not going to happen for a long time. So yeah, I'm just so happy to finally be done with this thing. I've been working on it for 2 months. I thought it was only going to be 2 weeks. And if I had known how big this project was going to be, I would have asked for at least 3 times as much money as I got paid for it. I mean, because I was basing the price I quoted him on a previous project that I thought it was going to be similar to that, and it ended up being way more complex. So, but Wally is very happy with the work I did. It's not going to be seen by the public anytime immediately, but eventually it'll be seen. So once that happens, I'll be sharing that with the world because I'm psyched for other people to see it, and he's super happy with the job I did. So
Nice.
That's all good. Also, in this past week, I started 2 other jobs. One is, I guess one I've been doing technically for more than a week, but it's there's a company called Satati who is out of Emeryville, California, the same town that Pixar is in, and I mentioned this last week. I think that I'm helping them make a series of short storyboards for a bunch of basically narrated storybooks for an educational app. And I've been continuing to do that this week. And also this week, I had my first 2 shifts driving as a delivery driver for ease.com. So I am now a cannabis delivery specialist.
You're a drug trafficker.
And yeah, basically. And I have to say, compared to Lyft driving, this is so much better. Oh my gosh. Because I don't have to have other people in my car. They're keeping everything nice and clean and socially distant, and everyone's wearing masks and all that stuff. But it's basically, I drive to the depot, I pick up, typically, I'm either driving, here's one order and I go to some place and I bring it back. Or if enough things have happened within a short amount of time in the same area, I'll get 3 orders and I'll go out and do 3 of those and then head back. But since no one else is in my car, I can listen to whatever I want. So I literally put on the Dr. Demento show and listen to it for like 7 or 8 hours straight on Monday and Tuesday when I did my first couple of shifts, and it was glorious. So another cool thing about this job is, unlike Lyft and Uber and stuff like that, and DoorDash, etc., is that this is an actual job. Like, I signed a W-2, I'm getting an hourly wage plus tips plus mileage and stuff like that. So it's just a lot more secure. Plus, I'm allowed to make my own schedule. For example, for the next few weeks, after this week ends, I'm going to be just working on Friday nights and Saturdays and Sundays so that I can keep my weeks free for doing storyboard work for the Satati people, because I can get that work done usually within the same day once they assign it to me, as long as I have nothing else distracting me, like a big giant other animatic project. So so I just kind of feel like, with especially today, right now, I'm finally getting my life back. I have an ease shift tomorrow night. I'm going to work on a Satati board tonight and tomorrow morning, with the hope of having it completely finished by Friday night, even have to finish it up after I get back from ease driving, because I want to have Saturday completely off, because on Saturday, my brother Michael is getting married, and he is having the wedding shown on Zoom for all of the people literally across the world who can't be there, because his fiance's family are from India. So there was going to be a big traditional Indian wedding, possibly in India, that we would have all gone to. My mom was like, I'm buying everyone's plane tickets, we're going to India. But then a pandemic happened. So for reasons, Mike and Anu needed to get married sooner rather than later. So they're doing this little ceremony and zooing it for everyone. There's going to be about a dozen people there. My mom and my sister are going to drive up. And they're supposed to be watching on Zoom. And then sometime in the future, after the pandemic ends, we'll throw a big, huge rager at some point to celebrate their wedding. So that is what is up with me.
Sunday
I'll
evening
actually
at
have
FuMPFest.
a day off on Saturday and have some fun with my family.
Have the party Sunday evening at FuMPFest. I'll host.
Yes.
Cool.
We have yet to do a Bollywood song on the FuMP, have we?
As far as I know, yeah. I don't think there's been one.
Yeah.
So the big thing I did this week was, I'm going to show it now, is this little Grupp GIF that I made of, I'm having a day, that I took from Cleanliness is Next to Gruppliness. I had to email Kyle and ask him which which episode it was from, because I had 2 of those days in a row where things were just were just a nightmare, and I kept saying it, and I was like, somebody needs to make a GIF of that, and nobody had, so I did. Tuesday, I recorded The Insider. I've decided to start doing it live streaming on Twitch because I enjoy doing that. I only had 4 people tune in, but I don't care. It was still fun. I was hoping to have my new ridiculous rap song done in time so I could, premiere it live on the show and actually perform it live, and it wasn't ready. So that'll be ready at some point in the not too distant future. And speaking of video, I have started looking for a new video camera because I want to try to actually make good quality videos rather than just using my phone for everything I do. And looking like the amateur that I am, I want to try to fake it a little bit better than I've been faking it. So I think I'm going to go with the one that Jared Ringgold from Possible Oscar recommended. I just now need to find it. So let's talk to some of our guests. Anthony, how you doing? What's been up? What have you been going on?
Oh, I'm good. What is that? Is that
that's
phone
Luke's
call?
phone?
That was Stephanie calling me, and I hung up on her.
You should have answered. Let's all chat.
No, we've done that bit hundreds of times.
Yeah, all
on
of
the
Luke's
show.
exes like to call during the show. It's a thing.
Plus, she called me earlier, and I literally know what she's up to. She went to Janesville to buy a laptop, and now I'm going to be on the phone with her for a half hour as she drives back home just so has somebody to talk to. So it's kind of like, oh, I know this context, yoink. So yeah, it's fine. I'll call her later.
She might have better stories than me.
Maybe.
More of a yeet than a yoink, really.
Right.
Just to be technical.
Very true.
So Anthony, how you doing?
So yeah, I'm doing well. I've just been working on stuff, new music and video content, stuff like that. I'm working on a few new songs and videos for that, and I do a podcast as well. So
Oh, cool. Give that a plug.
I also did. I like to plug right off the top
Sure.
before I say anything. No, but I do this podcast called Is This Anything, which is me and 3 other stand-up comedians, and we work out new jokes together.
Oh, like
And
live
so-
on the podcast?
Yeah, so we do it. We've been doing it on Zoom, and so we just all, we'll pitch the idea, and then everybody kind of throws their ideas around to see if and also we all let each other know if the joke is good. So that's been fun. So that's like a cool thing to look forward to, hanging out with my friends on Zoom.
That's actually
like
a
what
really
this is.
interesting idea for a podcast. I may check that out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we originally it was just going to be a writing session thing, but we did the first couple, and we're like, I think maybe we could record these, and maybe people would listen to them.
I think
it's
you're gonna find that like other stand-ups are probably your biggest audience. I don't know that the general public would be interested in that, but I think other comedians would.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We're still growing it.
Cool. So Kate, how about your turn? What's up with you?
Lots of different stuff. I just moved, actually. I just bought a house. I'm a pandemic home buyer, so
Congratulations.
mostly been dealing with non-music stuff for the past couple of months, getting ready to buy it and moving, and then changing things we want to change now that we're here. So yeah, that's been my life for a couple of months. Very excited. First time I've ever owned a home. Very different mentality from being a renter. All of a sudden everything is my problem.
Right.
Whereas it used to be someone else's problem. Yeah, and you knew that, but you don't really know until it's really your problem. So yeah, it's been learning a lot pretty quickly, which is great. I love learning new stuff.
And you'll
Keeps me from getting bored in the pandemic.
right. You'll learn very quickly just how shoddily put together most houses are.
Yeah. So my house is over 100 years old. It was built in 1915.
Wow.
And of course it has had many previous owners, and everyone who lived in your house before you and did something that you don't understand is a psychopath. So there are many psychopaths in the ancestry back in the before history of this house. And so I'm 5'0". You can't tell because I'm sitting down, but I'm very short. My husband's 6'2", and we have had both very short and very tall psychopaths in the history. So yeah, there are things where I'm just shaking my head like, who did this? Like, for example, the lights in our bathroom, I have to stand on my tippy toes to even reach them. They're the kind you have to twist on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like if I just had a pull chain, everything would be hunky dory. But no, the vanity mirror that you can pull it open. It's all like thick wood frame because it's 1915. I also have to stand on my tippy toes and reach above my head. The bottom of the mirror comes to here. And the whole thing is just like way up here. And I look like I'm a hobbit in a movie, like a forced perspective nightmare. However, this is just the bathroom. In that same room, the shower head was so low that it was hitting my husband right in the forehead. So I don't know what these people were thinking. Clearly, there were both short and tall psychopaths, and there was a war of some kind, maybe, and finally a truce was reached. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're changing all kinds of stuff to accommodate. Yeah,
my house
us
isn't
being one of each.
My house isn't nearly that old. It was 1995, I think it was built, and like, but the if you look at the bedroom door, there's the molding for the door, and then the corner of the wall, and there's a gap like about yay big at the top. And if you follow it down, it gets narrower and narrower and narrower until about a foot above the ground they meet, and then the molding actually goes into the wall a little bit. And
Oh no!
I don't know whether the wall is crooked or the door frame is crooked or a little bit of both, but it's like you can't not notice it when you look at it.
That sounds really obvious.
Yes.
Yeah. And it sounds really hard to fix too. This is what I'm learning too. Like some things are annoying. You have to measure things on two axes. How annoying is it and how annoying would it be to fix?
Yes.
So yeah, there's a spot in our house where there were 2 layers of carpet. So the house is old. It has original hardwood and it's all still there. But someone had put carpet down, and then eventually someone decided they didn't like that carpet, they wanted new carpet. But in the meantime, someone had built a giant heavy desk and put in a bunch of wardrobes that you like screw into the wall. And all those things are attached to the wall in this room. So when they put in the new carpet, they just cut around them and just put the new carpet around the bases of all those structures. So we just took that carpet up and said to ourselves, what on earth? And we cut around because we didn't want to spend forever on it. And we discovered that someone had already done this. And the old carpet, this is the only place it is underneath these wardrobes and underneath the desk where they couldn't get at it. They just didn't bother taking it apart. Said, oh, no one will ever notice. So now we're in the position of like, if we ever want to do it right, we're the ones who have to do all that work. It's like, why couldn't these psychopaths just have done it right in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't.
Welcome to home ownership.
Yeah. It's always the same reason, right? It's always because it's annoying to do it right. That's always the answer.
Yes.
Why did they do this? Because it would have been really annoying or really expensive to actually do it properly.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah, I've been doing a lot of house stuff. But before that, back when we were recording the song together, I was doing a live stream songwriting challenge at the beginning of the pandemic. What's that?
That was awesome. Right.
Yeah, it was.
Right, made contact with her. She was writing a song a day, so I joined her for some of those.
It was great, and you gave me some great suggestions. Always really interesting. Most of the people who watch that like are my acquaintances and friends and family. So like, yeah, I mean, they know me, and that's great, and that was very helpful. Anyway, so to explain, what I was doing was, I wanted to write a song faster than my last challenge. The last song I had on here, I wrote during a song a week challenge I set for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this time in the pandemic, I thought, oh my gosh, now's a great time. I'm going to write a song every day. And then I thought, I don't want to spend all day writing a song. I'm going to just set myself a time limit of an hour. I'm only going to give myself an hour to work on it. So at first what I did was I just wrote the song in an hour, and I just like had a camera set up, and then I would edit it, and I put like little snarky comments in there. But that was way too much work. So then I just started doing it as like a live stream on Facebook. So then when the hour was over, I was done. But I wrote a ton of songs, and having people actually like help me for that hour was a huge game changer. Not all of them were good, but I gotta say, I think most of them were things I would perform, when we can go and perform live again.
Yeah.
I'll have to pick some. I didn't record most of them. Most of them got cast off. I had a vote at the end of every week for people to vote on their favorite. And then I would do like a kind of nice home recording of the people's favorite. I did regret letting people vote a couple of times. I thought they made the totally wrong choice, but that's what I get for investing in democracy.
Well, I mean, ultimately they're your songs. You can just say, screw it, I want this one on my album too, and record it.
Right. So the album I put up, and it's only on my Bandcamp, I don't have it on Spotify. It's called Frenzy Demos, and it's the demo tracks I made for this project, which I called the songwriting frenzy.
That's awesome.
Of 2020.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, some of them that are in the Frenzy demos, I think would be great songs to submit for the FuMP. And some that didn't get recorded, I also really, really like, and I'd love to record and get to you guys.
Sure, yeah, love to have them. All right, so Matt and Gary, last but not least, what's up, guys?
Nothing much. So, we'll talk musically, because by day I'm a CPA, and nobody wants to hear about that. So, but musically, it's going pretty well. As Gary's a new member, the last time I was on here over like a year and a half ago, it was just a solo project for a little while. I'm sweats, and I had lost my spinners. So, Gary's not quite spinners. You're not quite spinners, but he's still great to have around. He shot that 27 hose video. But so we've got an album that'll be dropping in December. That's called "We Enter Through the Exits." So that's something to look out for. We've got a documentary on the way. We've also already written half of another album called, can I drop the name of called Horny for Love. So I've got a whole half an album written. So maybe it doesn't ever come to fruition because it's only half of an album. But yeah, so we're enjoying what we're doing. We're making some YouTube videos and hoping to get more of that made. But now we finally got an album and an EP live on Spotify and all the streaming services, and then another album that'll drop in December. So the second album, We Enter Through the Exits, will be better because Gary G is a much better music producer than I am, you know?
Okay.
So thankful to have him around.
We'll hold you to that.
He's so good, he won't even show his real identity.
Wait, break that down for me. Well, what would happen if we learned Gary's real identity?
You would find out that he's really just a clone of me.
Oh.
He just doesn't want to be associated with this comedy music
no,
thing.
you wouldn't, because I don't know how to clone people. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
All right, so tell us about 27 Hoes.
Well, I was just counting, you know, how many hoes I have, and I was just like, I could write a song about the hoes that I was thinking Mambo number 5, and I was like, here's all the hoes I have. And then I started going that way with it. I get like partway through the track, and I'm like, you know what? I should put a little bit of something about the meaning of life in this song about my 27 hoes.
Okay, so let's give it a listen, and then you can finish talking about it after we hear it. Actually, I'm going to play the video since this is a video show. So here is 27 Hoes by Sweats and Spinners.
All right. Bring it back and move it. Ladies, if you want to get with me, then listen up. But you're probably not woman enough, cause my game's so strong and my thing's so long. It's like 100,000 shawties trying to get it on. They call me Mr. 9-Inch Nails, but without the nails. They call me Big Pimpin'. If his pimpin' had been a little bigger, they call me Mr. Really Cool Guy, who's also pale. Yeah, I'm a white guy, but I'm an honorary cool guy. 27 hoes all out on the flow. They drop it low, bring it back, and they give me some more. And a couple of them got ass for days, but it doesn't matter, cause our existence is meaningless.
Our existence is pointless. We're all just specks of dirt with insignificant lives. Our existence is pointless. If there's no creation, there's no reason we are alive.
And there's probably no creator.
All we to say,
I'm not about to debate your view.
yeah, let's not go there.
Your opinion is fine, but what about mine?
Atheism established, fade into the sadness, and accept that we're all going to die.
Now some of you might say that life is beautiful anyway. Don't overthink it, just appreciate. Just be thankful for the life you got. You got 27 hoes and a magnum cock. And I'm like, yes, of course my penis is really big. And I take a second thank them for noticing it. I got 27 hoes all out on the floor. I got 4 Porsches in my garage at home. And I take one out, I'm cruising around. I find a cute little shawty and I take her to town. And I ask her, do you want to be my hoe? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, oh no. And she's like, what is it? Is it about me being your hoe? And I'm like, no, I just remembered something completely different. And she's like, well, what is it? You know, I kind of want to know now. And I'm like, I don't think you do want to know, because
Our existence is pointless.
Pointless.
We're all just specks of dirt with insignificant lives. Just look out at the cosmos, even with 27 holes.
it's 28, but who's counting?
You're empty inside. We want something to believe because it helps with the feeling.
What you
that
feeling?
we are going to die. Our existence is pointless.
So pointless.
Oh, you're losing the battle with life. And we all find something that helps us numb the pain. And as long as it's legal, we pretend that this is safe. But it's never gonna go away.
I've been wandering and pondering, why am I alive?
We're all going to die.
Even 28 hoes ain't enough to stop the slow creep of death knocking at my door.
Our existence is pointless.
All that ass in their pants make me wanna dance, but I can't help but think that it's all for nothing.
We're all going to die.
This part of the song is a metaphor for your life. It's almost over. And some of y'all might think that this song is misogynistic. Well, what if I told you that 14 of the hoes are men? Hashtag feminism.
So for a song called 27 Hoes, that is remarkably deep.
Thank you. That's what we were going for. No, it was so much fun of a song. Like, it was funny enough to just start and be like, you know what? I'm gonna pick an absurd number of hoes, and I started in the hundreds, and I said that's unrealistic. I said, what's the most you could possibly juggle? And I started with 24 hours in a day, and I said, I'm efficient here, so I'm gonna double up some hours. And I 27, and I said, I think I could do it, right? And from there, I started to write a song just about why I have 27 hoes, but that wasn't good enough. And then once I got to the chorus, I wrote that twist, and originally, like, I was singing it, and I was just like, man, like, this needs powerful vocals on this chorus, like, to differentiate, because it's like 90s hip hop, and then all of a sudden the chorus is just like, our existence is fun. So I was singing it myself, and then I was like, man, I need something. And I had recently heard Running Sucks on the FuMP, and I was like, that girl can sing, so I'm gonna just look her. I was like, it's the FuMP, like, it's, you know, she's probably gonna be super cool. I looked her up. I like started emailing back and forth with Kate, and like sent her the song, and she was like, yeah, I'll do it. Which I was a little concerned because of the material of the song. I was like, this might be interesting. We'll see.
But I was on board immediately. I was like, yeah, I'm here for this.
The
I loved
hashtag
it.
feminism at the end, is that what really sells it?
No, I mean, it does help. It does help. But no, my favorite part of the song is right before that, where this part of the song is a metaphor for your life. It's almost over. It gets me every time.
I love the part where we debate. So that part where I debate,
Oh, yeah.
we rewrote it about 10 times, and we almost had a debate because what I originally had to say was a little worse, and she was like, yeah, I'm not so comfortable just saying that. So it was so funny. We end up going back and forth, and I was like, let's put that in the song. Let's just have a little mini debate about atheism right now.
Yeah.
It came out. That's got to be my favorite part now, because of the way, like, we rewrote it, and then it just became the conversation we were having.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it worked out perfectly, and I think it's funnier.
Oh yeah,
I think it's funnier
it's
that
so
way.
much funnier that we have a little mini debate in the first chorus.
Especially since we're both you. Like, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. In the scheme of things, in the video, it's all me. Talking to other versions of me.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that right away. When I first saw the video, I was like, oh, Kate's hairier than I expected. Oh, that's Matt. Okay.
Kate's stomach has hair on it, you know? It's pretty, but very toned, I would say.
Yes, you're very
She looks strong. Gary, doesn't she look strong?
I could probably take you, Gary.
He's a talker.
Gary's the strongest silent type.
Yeah, that's some real smack talk. Yeah, it's real good.
He's the Green Ranger. He can kick your ass.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's in a bathrobe, I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think he's getting up. But yeah, no, it was awesome. And Kate, thank you so much. Her vocals are awesome. Like, having that dichotomy of, like, her powerful vocals on it, I loved it. It was so good.
It works really well. The two of you do really, really good work together.
Yeah, I had tons of fun. I would, you ever get a need for that type of thing again, hit me up, because that was super fun. Loved doing it. I loved being able to just do vocals on a track instead of trying to, like, fill the whole song myself.
Write it in a day. Write it in 1 hour.
Yeah, no, that's good too. That's the taking of time. It's a little bit different for me. I loved it.
You got to be careful what you say around here because Luke and I will both be like, we can add Kate to our list of people to get on a song.
No, really do add my. I love doing studio work, although I'm not currently going to a studio to do this stuff. I recorded this song because I had to be really loud. So we changed the key, and I had to be really loud to hit those notes. It's one of those things where you can't go halfway; you got to go all the way. So I lived in an apartment when I was recording this, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it with all my neighbors being able to hear me. So what I did, since I couldn't go to the studio because pandemic. Is I drove out to an elementary school that was out of session, and I set up my recording stuff in my car, where there's like 100 yards on every side around me, and then I was convinced that no one will be able to hear me, and then I recorded it. So
you recorded
I'd be able to do much
outside?
better in the future.
That was. I didn't know you did all that. That was awesome, though.
Oh,
Wait, were you recorded outside or in your car?
in my car.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a little box. So this is my little Blue Yeti microphone. I shouldn't touch that, but it's just this guy. This guy right here. Nope. Look at it. Okay, it's not really important. I have a little desktop mic, and I have a little box that it lives in, and then I lay a blanket over it. It's pretty good. If you're looking for a really cheap, the cheapest possible home studio setup, I highly recommend it. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
All the software is so good now. It can take out all the hums and the
Totally.
noises. Yeah.
My furnace is right there. I routinely have to noise reduce it out of my songs.
Oh, really? I'm not hearing it at all. That's awesome.
Well, it's off
stuff
now.
It's all
but...
really good.
But yeah, I've actually never set foot in a real recording studio in my life.
Wow, cool.
It's on my bucket list. Someday I'm gonna set foot in a real recording studio, but
I don't know. I mean, it is kind of awesome. The first time I went to a real studio, I recorded Running Sucks in a real studio, and I was doing it live in the headphones, and I was singing in the headphones. I could hear myself, and I thought, oh my God, I don't sound this good in real life. I sound way better than I do in real life. It was just immediately apparent that, something's different here. This sounds amazing.
yeah. But if I go into a studio, I need to have an engineer who knows what they're doing because I ain't touching anything. I'm gonna be like Krusty on that Simpsons episode. I'm gonna walk in, record my shit, and run out.
It's basically wizardry. It is truly arcane.
Yeah, they do some amazing
great.
stuff. Cool. So, what else is going on with you guys?
Oh man, so we're shooting. We got those 2 albums. We entered through the exits. And I did the first time I've ever announced it anywhere, Horny for Love. That album's going to drop sometime in 2021. But if we finish it, my music production guy. But we kind of have a studio. We have a little a garage in the apartment complex that we rented out, pretending that it was for a car. And they don't charge us for the electricity that we use because there's only 2 outlets. But we put in a little AC unit and a heater during the winter. Now it's nicer when you're heating because the AC doesn't work too great in a garage in your apartment complex.
Yeah.
But we've got that going on, doing a bunch of music videos. But we truly have a documentary crew that is somewhat following us, and we're trying to produce a full-length documentary on Sweats and Spinners. That's the goal. It's going to come out. There's going to be some snippets as YouTube videos. There's a lot of characters joining Sweats and Spinners. Some of them might look somewhat like other people, but I promise there's 10, 12 already joined Sweats and Spinners. So there's a ton of us. It's really a very big band. We can't always be in the same place at the same time, just schematic scheduling wise.
Right.
Social distancing, that's the reason. That's the reason that it's all shot on green screen. For the most part.
Yes.
But yeah, having a lot of fun doing that stuff, trying to grow that YouTube following. Maybe someday I won't have to be a CPA. We'll see how the grind goes.
Cool. That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So anything you'd like to plug?
Just the album that's going to come out in December. We enter through the exits, and subscribe to us on YouTube to see 27 Hoes and all the other videos we put out. There's a few of them. Well, I did one for My Wings finally, which took a long, but the song where it's about You raised me up, you made me happy, but the song's really just about a plate of wings. And I doused myself in hot sauce for that song, My Wings. And then we cut, as we edited the video, we cut almost all of it out because it was so disgusting to watch. So you don't even see it. I had to shower for like 2 hours, and we were watching it back because I was just in a pair of whitey tighties pouring hot sauce on myself, and we were like, that's disgusting. I can't. No one wants to look at that. I don't know why I thought it would be good on the video, but afterwards we were like, no, we used so much other footage and did not use me dousing. My skin was burning, but didn't use it.
You should put that up as like an alternate take. I promise you it'll get a lot of views.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just put it on a loop for the whole song. Make it an alternate music video. Just that clip on a loop for the whole song.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, that's what's up with Sweats and Spinners.
All right. Sounds good.
Where will we be able to find your album?
It's going to go on Spotify. I do have www.sweatsandspinners.com. I post all my stuff to there because I put it up on Bandcamp and then also released through Spotify and all the major streaming services. So.
Cool.
All right. We're going to do some news. Here's a promo.
It's horrifying. It's nauseating. It's monstrous. It's back. The horror that is the Wackiness on the Rise Halloween Scare-a-thon is back for a second year with another full month of some of the most spookiest funny songs and parodies. What's even scarier is that it's 5 shows. 5 episodes of Halloween music from vampires, werewolves, zombies, ghosts, and the coronavirus? Okay, that's too much, so let's forget about that. 5 one-hour episodes of scary laughs. In total, 5 hours of horror. 5 times the scares, 5 times the laughs. And we'll be scaring the web all the way until the day before Halloween. Join us on Friday, October 2nd to Friday, October 30th for the second annual Wackiness on the Rise Halloween Scare-a-thon on madmusic.com and archive.org. Unless, of course, you're scared.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news. Wow, that was loud. I had to turn that up before. I forgot to turn it back down. All right. The Boobles Indiegogo campaign for the new album Booby Road has officially ended. They totaled $3,629, which is 108% of their goal. So now it's all up to Sea Monkey to finish making that album. Tomorrow, October 2nd, besides being my son's birthday, is Bandcamp Friday. Bandcamp is going to be waiving their fees. They're going to be doing this every first Friday through the rest of the year. So tomorrow is a good day to support your favorite funny artist on Bandcamp and pick up your favorite songs, or if you don't already have them, that is. The debate has been songified with the help of Weird Al Yankovic. They released a new album, a new song yesterday called "We're All Doomed." Posted by Shmoyoho on YouTube. Weird Al sings the questions and the candidates auto-tune the answers. You can find this on YouTube. It's quite remarkable. And the Worm Quartet Kickstarter has 23 hours to go. They're looking to reach their second stretch goal of $7,000. They're about $850 shy of that. So can we get the second Worm Quartet album on vinyl is the question. So 23 hours left to go. The Pac-Man EP is fully funded, but they're looking to release stupid video game music on vinyl, which can happen at the $7,000 mark. So if you haven't already pledged, head over to Kickstarter.com and look for the Pac-Man EP by Worm Quartet. All right. Luke, you got anything before tour dates?
Just wanted to mention, for those of you who are Mighty Magiswords fans, that Mr. TV's Kyle was going through his stuff and found something that not everyone has seen and posted it. So it is both an animatic and a fully animated version. He posted one on the 29th and one on the 30th of the original opening title sequence that was made for Mighty Magiswords. It was storyboarded by myself and Zoe Moss, and originally the opening theme was going to be 30 seconds long. And then later, after they did all the animation, they decided to cut it down to 20 seconds and kind of rearrange the way the song was done. So if you go to the social media of Kyle A. Carosa, aka TV's Kyle, Twitter, Facebook, and the like, you can scroll back to the 29th and 30th, and you can watch those nifty animatics and see artwork by me that was made for the show but not used in the show and stuff. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. The only tour dates we got are Fridays on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring Dr. Pinkerton. Also Fridays on YouTube, Carla Ulbrich. And damn near every day through the rest of October, Steve Goody. Also, Carla Ulbrich is performing online on the 3rd on this coming Saturday. And coming up on the 5th, happy birthday to Mike Renneker of the Belle Isle Rats, who was just on the show last week or the week before. So happy birthday, Mike. All right. Let's talk to Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing well.
All right, give us a quick intro to this song, and we'll give it a listen, and then we'll talk to you about it.
It's funny. It's thematically somewhat similar to the other song because
we're surprisingly
it's called,
deep on the FuMP this week. I don't know how to understand how
do
this
you
happens.
do that on purpose, or is
No,
it
not at all.
chance?
Not at all.
Because it's called The Meaning of Life, and it's so I do music and I do stand up, and so all of the lyrics to the song were sort of ideas for one-liner jokes that were in various forms of being finished and working in front of an audience. But they're all lines that I really liked, and I put them, I set them to this music, which when I was just sitting around playing guitar, and I started playing a riff, and I said, thought to myself, this kind of sounds like a Harvey Danger riff, if you guys remember the band Harvey Danger. And so I thought it would be fun to keep going and see if I could write an entire song that was sort of in the style of the band Harvey Danger. And that's what this song is.
All right, here is The Meaning of Life by Anthony Kapfer.
Rhetorical question, hypothetically. And what is the meaning of life? Tell me yes or no. That was a trick question. Or was it? I don't know. I don't have all the answers now. How could I when I don't even have all the questions? Ironically, I complain that I do not get sarcasm. Isn't that just great? I want to be a positive person, but that seems so unlikely. Sometimes I think my mind is playing tricks on me, therefore I'm always right. People say that happiness is a choice, but I can never make up my mind. And I know I'm getting older, 'cause now I'm old enough to remember being younger. And now I reminisce about nostalgia, 'cause it used to be better. What if the good old days never
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So yeah, we do not do this intentionally, and this happens like remarkably often on the FuMP, where we'll have two songs in a row about the same topic, or like they'll both reference some obscure thing from the 80s. Like two songs in a row will reference the same thing out of nowhere. You know, it's just it's weird how this happens, but yeah. So great song. Totally coincidence that it was after the other song.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Anthony, I saw the title and I swore it was gonna answer I was like, our existence is pointless, and I was like, Anthony's he's gonna prove me wrong. He's gonna be like, just kidding. I know the meaning.
Oh no, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, thematically the same. Just different titles.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm glad that we were brought together by the meaningless universe.
Yeah, the FuMP is pretty meaningless, actually. So it's bringing
Who are we
all
to
me.
Yeah, let's
So-
not go there.
So this is a song full of one-liners. Have you performed them as stand-up, or did you just use them for the song?
Some of the lines were jokes that I was trying to do in my act at some point, and I sort of just have I have like old notebooks and old note memos in my phone and stuff. So every now and then I'll find one that I tried for a little while that didn't really work or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. So I just collected a bunch of them, and I thought this was a good song for it because it's sort of the melody of the verses, at least, are sort of flexible. It doesn't follow. So it's not very traditional in the structure of the melody. So.
No, it works really well. I'm actually not familiar with the band Harvey Danger. I don't remember that at all.
You would probably know the song Flagpole Sitta.
Maybe if I heard it.
By them. You gonna make me fucking sing this song right
No,
now?
I'm not.
You know the song. You just don't know the title.
Yeah.
I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
Oh, that's okay.
You know that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, you made her sing the song.
I got you. You don't want to do it. I got you. I'll just step in.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm most people just know that song, but they're actually a good band. That whole album is great, and they have a couple of other really good albums too.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It just that intro riff just reminded me of something that they would do, and I just kind of, not that it's like a style parody, because I don't do parody songs, and I don't usually do style parody songs, but
Yeah.
that felt like very much in their
Well,
their
it was
wheelhouse
at
or
least,
whatever.
inspired by them. That's
Yeah.
all you need to say.
When I used to play serious music, I would do the same thing, but it would just be ripping them off. So now I'm an artist. It's a style parody. But
Now
yeah,
I'm ripping
I just
them off
wanted
for
to write a song that
comedy.
sounded like- yeah, comedy.
No, that's great. So did you do all the music yourself, or do you have any help?
A lot of the stuff I do by myself, and this one I did everything except the there's like some synth parts in there, which is sometimes they sound like musical, and sometimes it's sort of sounds like a sound effect. But Ricky Wells did the synths on that, and then I did everything else.
Very cool. It's great when you can do stuff yourself. You don't have to worry about relying on other people who let you down.
Yeah, and then I could just do like a million things, and maybe one of them is good.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them will get me on the FuMP.
Yeah. Because that's a goal in life.
Hey,
What was that?
I was gonna say some people get rejected every now and then. I don't know.
I don't think that happens. I don't
okay.
know.
It's okay.
Yeah, it happens more than you think.
Oh, interesting.
You want me to look up how many songs of yours got rejected, because there's
No.
that's still in the database.
Look it up. I know.
Do you get a response if you
Yes.
get rejected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's just an automated generic rejection note.
Listen,
Oh, it's like it just says eh.
Well, it
it says eh.
It's just a thanks but no,
No
thank you
thanks.
type thing. And then if because each of the people who vote on the songs are can also leave comments for the song. So if there's any comments that the person left on the song, those get appended to the note. So if there's anything specific like we don't like this song because it sucks or whatever, then that gets added to.
That's
the
a good
song.
reason to not like it.
Good note. That's a good specific note.
Yeah.
Or we have a page at the FuMP called the Sideshow where people can post whatever songs they want if they host the file themselves and they don't have to go through the vetting process of the main page. So sometimes I'll leave a note on a track that says, if this song doesn't get approved for the main page, please post it on the Sideshow because I really like it. So
Oh.
Yeah, I've done that too. And
Didn't leave any of those notes on mine.
and we have had at least one occasion where I can think of offhand where the song, we rejected the song, it was posted to the Sideshow, Dr. Demento picked it up, played it on his show, and it was a hit on the Dr. Demento show.
Yes.
So that was Max DeGroot, his song. I think it was just one of those things where like it just barely didn't make it because we use a grading system like schools do, and it has to have like a 3.0 average to get in. We have fairly high standards, and this would have had like a 2.6 or 2.7 or something like that. So it was close, but it just didn't quite make it, and
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. I'd have to go back through my 2025, super overanalyzed playlists to pull that information up. But yeah, because it's kind of like the Logan Awards. We have a different set of people every year, choosing the winners because different people have different tastes. So it's not always the exact same kind of thing winning. So it's like we're like whatever it is, 9 or 10 people, and we have some opinions, but sometimes collectively we. I don't want to say that we're wrong. It's just our opinion is different. And then Dr. D hears it and is like, oh, I'm going to play it. And then his listeners are like, yay. And it becomes a bigger thing. So,
yeah, it happens.
We celebrate the success of people on the Sideshow and in general in comedy music.
No, I loved it. It made me work harder for 27 O's, I really felt, because the first one I submitted was my wings and it made it. I was like, oh, this is a piece of cake. I'm so good at this, And I had really only started out, and then I had some failures, and I said, "Oh, I gotta work a little harder." But I also love Max DeGroot's music, so I'm gonna have to go find this track, and then I'm gonna be like, "Hey, he's just like me. He got rejected too."
I'm particularly fond of his Halloween Christmas song. I forget what that's called. Luke, you know what song I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I know what song you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it either. I think it's on our.
It's on the FuMP. I'm pretty sure
it's on the I think it's on the Halloween with the FuMP compilation album.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
Oh, good. I forgot I was here.
Yeah, we get sidetracked easily. It just is shiny,
Oh yeah. I was just looking off into the distance myself.
So, I have to ask you about that guitar that's behind you. Is that painted on, or is that a sticker with your name on it?
Oh, my name. That's electrical tape.
That's electrical tape. I was wondering if that's what it was.
I would love to have it painted on eventually, but maybe if enough people buy my stuff tomorrow for Bandcamp Friday, then I'll be able to afford to paint it on.
Cool. Do you have a lot of stuff up on your Bandcamp page?
Yeah, I have a handful of albums out, and I've been trying to keep up with the Bandcamp Friday stuff. So I put out something, a single or an EP or something every month since they've been doing that.
Are they mostly comedy, or do you still have some of your serious stuff up there?
I have some of my serious stuff up there. I have not really, I haven't really been releasing straight serious songs. What my goal is to try and blend the kind of music that I played before when it was serious and the kind of comedy that I do when I do stand-up, because I do jokes and stuff as well as funny songs. So if I could, hopefully I'm getting pretty good at it, but blending the two in a way where it's like funny music, but it's not the jokes. The music hopefully doesn't suffer from the jokes, if you know what I I don't want it to be like dismissed as just goofy songs.
Yeah, and that's that's something you're going to run up against regardless, because comedy really does have a stigma attached to it. You know,
Oh yeah,
it's just, oh, it's just a guy doing fart jokes. Who's stupid?
Yeah.
You know, and even if they are fart jokes, who cares? It's, you know, it takes effort and time to make this stuff. I don't care if it is a fart joke.
I just love the thing that Rob Paravonian said once in one of his live tracks.
Yes.
Is like, you know, about people giving backhanded compliments. It's like people, you know, he does his act. People come up to him after the show, and it's like, "Oh man, I love your song. It's really funny. They're so great. It's so well played. You got a great voice. Do you have any real songs?"
yeah.
No, only these imaginary ones. Funny how we can all hear them.
Yeah.
That's how people think of comedy music a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just comedy music. I mean, comedy in general. I for some reason, I looked up recently the last time a comedy movie won the Oscars for Best Movie was 1944. Okay.
44. Is there even
What was the movie?
I have no idea. But that was the last time. It's only happened twice in the history of the Oscars, and the last time was before my father was born.
Wow.
So
I remember back, I don't remember how many years ago. It's got to be at least 10 years ago. There was a comedy song done at the Oscars, sung by Will Ferrell and Jack Black, and the chorus was like, "They don't give Oscars to comedians," and then like, but it was, I think, the year after the movie Chicago came out, and then all of a sudden from the audience you hear, "But guys, there is hope," and they're like, "Well, who is that?" And John C. Reilly comes up, and because he won the Oscar for his role in Chicago, saying like, "There is hope."
You can
And then-
do both. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah.
Oh
You can
yeah,
do both.
I love that. I love that.
And then at the end they're singing about, "Let's go to Del Taco, Del Taco," and they just end by singing Del Taco.
Yes.
that's great.
The craziest part about Jack Black is that he's an amazing vocalist.
He's so good.
He's so good, man.
He
Yeah.
could make real music.
Yeah,
could,
you're right.
yes.
That we could hear.
And then we could actually
I know. I just wish I could hear him when he sang. I just have a
Yeah.
feeling he's great.
all that. Yeah, man.
So you
Do
do
you
stand
guys
up.
find that like when you play in an open mic setting where like people aren't sure what they're gonna hear and you get up there and it's comedy, do you find that people are delighted by it? Because I
Oh, yeah.
usually do.
Oh yeah,
People love
absolutely. People love
Yeah.
it, but then
Oh, yeah.
they dismiss it. It's like,
Right.
you know, there's videos on YouTube that have hundreds of millions of views and are really, really funny, and those people can't get it, you know, make a career out of it because it's comedy. Who cares? You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, I did, even in you know, stand-up circles, I did a show at the Improv in New York City, and it was, you know, comic. I don't know if you've ever done a show in New York City, but it's comic after comic after comic after comic after comic, and it goes on and on and on. And they put me right in the middle. And so there was, you know, a severe amount of audience fatigue setting in. And then I got up there and the music started and it kind of rejuvenated the room, and I killed. And they absolutely loved it. And then nothing ever came of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
I-
that's just it. As a comedy musician, you can make a room full of musicians sit up, and you can also make a room full of comedians sit up. Like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the way that I'm introduced helps. Like, if I'm doing a show where I'm doing all songs, but it's a stand-up show, there's been times where I've been booked as like a the musical guest or whatever.
Mhm.
And if it always works better than if I go up and do jokes and they're like, "All right, your next comic."
And you
You
go
know,
up there
if-
with a
if I-
guitar. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's the way they perceive it. Because if they go, "Hey, this is the musical act," then they don't mention that it's going to be funny. They're just thinking some kind of variety show or whatever. And then the songs are funny. Then they're, I don't know, maybe because they don't expect it to be funny.
Maybe, I don't
There's
know.
not the pressure on them. I don't know.
That makes
I don't know
sense.
what
So-
it is.
So sometime in like, I want to say this was like around 99 or 2000, I was living in Kansas City, and there's a comedy club. The biggest club in town was Stanford's, and the word went out that there was going to be people from NBC there to see a special kind of open mic showcase show, just looking for new talent or whatever. And I heard about it, so I showed up, and For for those of you, a lot of you, I mean, Devo knows about this, but one of the songs I used to do a lot is a parody of Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues, the one where they have the film with him standing in the alley, flipping the cards with the words "Mama's in the basement making lots of mess," So I have a parody of that about the original Star Wars trilogy, called Star Wars Trilogy Homesick Blues. And remember, this was '99 before everybody in the world was doing Star Wars songs, so it was kind of unique at the time. I show up and I have like a little like a Bob Dylan wig and glasses and like a little shirt with a vest, but then I have like a laundry basket that has all these cards that have my Star Wars related lyrics on them, so I could stand there and sing the song and flip the cards. So I get there to the show, and the places, the whole audience is the other comedians, and then the people from NBC are in the back. So I get there and I'm trying to make my way into the back, and whoever the MC was, this guy was being like a real douchebag, and like I'm just like trying to sneak quietly without interrupting, get over there, and I sit down with my laundry basket, and like the MC just immediately zooms in on me like as I sit down, and he goes, "Hey, are you a juggler?" And I just without saying words shook my head no, like, and he goes, "Are you sure?" And I just, again, not saying words, shook my head no, because I'm not going to give you anything to work with. And then he goes, "Because if there's one thing in the world I hate, it's a fucking juggler." And then he went off on this bit. Fast forward to whatever, halfway through the show, I get up, I do Star Wars Trilogy Homesick Blues, kills the place, murders everybody. And a few days later, there's a photo in the Kansas City newspaper of me holding up one of my Star Wars signs in the Bob Dylan outfit with the Stanford's Comedy Club neon sign right behind me. So the image of me performing became the image the news ran with on this event having happened. So it's like, screw you, douchebag MC. So, and again, nothing came of it. So
yeah, there's definitely a hierarchy with even in comedy circles, and musical comedy is like towards the bottom, like just above prop comics, I think.
Yeah, although some comics consider musical comedy prop comedy.
Prop comedy, yeah. I've heard the phrase "hiding behind your guitar" multiple times.
Crutch, yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
I went to one of the I forgot what it was called, but there was a comedy music festival in Chicago that came to be without me having known that it was a thing.
Laughing Stock, was that it?
I think that was it. And
Yeah,
I know Kelly Dwyer was there.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly.
I think Rob Paravonian was there too. So I saw an act perform there, and I don't remember this act's name at all, but they were singing to some kind of backing track, and it was like a song kind of introducing their group, and it's kind of a rock thing. And the guys, I don't even think this rhymed with anything, but he was like singing, "Are we going to take the words of a popular song and change them? No, come on, give us some credit." So it was like, so I guess song parodies don't count as comedy music, or it's like we're a bunch of Weird Al wannabes if we do the thing that Alan Sherman did, so, screw us, I guess. I don't know. I just find it's so weird. Like, I swear I'll shut up after I say this. It's like the whole notion of all these people grew up nerds of various types, and it's like they feel left out. They're left out of the groups, that they're ostracized. It's like, you can't be a part of this thing. And then we grow up, and then it's like, we're gonna form our own groups, and we're all gonna get to know people that are just like us. And then what do? They divide themselves up into little groups, and they ostracize. It's like, oh no, you're not cool enough to be in here. So it's like, I will never be one of the cool nerds. I will always be, a misfit on the Isle of Misfit Toys. It's like, I'm never gonna be, whatever. Which is a part of the reason why I make an effort, and a lot of the people at the FuMP also make an effort to include people. It's like, if we see someone on the sideshows doing awesome stuff, we try to encourage them. Hey, come out to our live events. Post more songs. Be involved in the thing. This is where, Mommy, where do comedy musicians come from? It's like, you foster them. You encourage them, and then there's more. And then suddenly there's Jeff Whitmire and Michael William Hunter there stealing all of the Logan Award nominations from you. So, which is awesome. I shut up now.
Oh yeah, but you guys totally do that. I've noticed. I mean, you guys have parody, but you also have, because I know most of you guys all met at Alcon like a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Not that long ago. Sorry.
Well, no,
No, it was a
19
long ass time
1990
ago.
Yeah, 1998. It was me, Devo, Tony Goldmark, and Chris Mezzolesta. Like the four of us met in 2000. What was it? 2002. We met Shoebox. You probably met him earlier than I did, Devo.
I met Shoebox when I was producing the Oddfest. So it was Shoebox came on the radar at the end of 2002 because of Frank's not in the band anymore, and then 2003 I produced the first Oddfest, and that I booked him to perform, and that was when I first met him.
Yeah, and because me and Devo were performing at a lot of sci-fi fan conventions, that's how we met Tom Smith and Rob Balder and Ookla the Mock and a whole bunch of other people. Carrie Dalby basically was, and I don't say this to be reductive of her, she was a fan of mine, and we got to know each other, and I found out that she could sing, and so I asked her to sing on a bunch of my songs, and then it's like most of us are comedians who learn how to make music, and she was a music person who learned how to be funny. So her whole comedy music thing started from, it's like, hey, she helped me with some stuff, and then it's kind of like, you two can do this. We need more women in comedy music. So, so yeah,
Hey, that's totally me. So I will reiterate my offer. I will sing on your tracks. Please hit me up.
Carrie was the my third attempt to get a female vocalist on one of my songs because it was so disgusting nobody would do it. And Carrie took the lyrics and was like, "Sure, I'll do it. No problem."
Give it to Carrie. She'll sing anything.
So that's why we love Carrie.
Yeah, that's why we love her. She is awesome. And we have so many other, it's like amazing just to go up to the artist page of the FuMP and be like, there's like 80 acts here. It's great. It's awesome.
And growing. It's awesome. I love what you guys do.
I do too.
Me too.
I want to get back to making more music once I want to find another full-time storyboarding job so I have some stability. So, because I really haven't done, I've mainly been doing parodies the past few years because I've been trying to find a new job since Magiswords ended, and it's just faster and easier a lot of time to do parodies because I can be like, Chase, make this background track. Here's some money. Okay, now I'm going to record my vocals and then it's done. But coming up with original songs for me requires more thought and time and effort that I don't seem to have that much for lately.
Hey, I've been struggling with trying to come up with this stupid, ridiculous rap song that I was supposed to finish last week. And
yeah, I was going to ask, did you figure out which one you're going with?
I've narrowed it down to 3. I haven't decided yet, but I've narrowed it down to 3. And yours is one of the 3. So
yeah. If you don't pick mine, that's fine. I'm just glad that it was a contender. Speaking of awesome,
you guys spend like weeks on your songs. I don't get it.
All of us can write a song in it.
Well, no, we spend weeks. I spend weeks agonizing over the song, and then I take like 15 minutes to write it and 20 minutes to bang out the music, and it's done.
That seems efficient. Yeah, that seems productive.
So Kyle Carosa, aka TV's Kyle, in the past couple of weeks, he was working very hard on a project of his. One of his show pitches that he's trying to get picked up, and he said that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a specific line of lyric from the song Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 kind of popped up in his head, and like he suddenly had fully formed in his head the lyrics to his own song, questioning that lyric from the Vanilla Ice song, and it just kind of the lyric, like normally coming up with lyrics are hard for him, but like suddenly this whole song was there right when he's in the middle of working on something else. So I'm assuming he like went to the side and like typed those lyrics up and were like, okay, I'm going to put you over here so I can finish the thing I need to do. So I'm looking forward to that. And also when he said that, it's one specific lyric from Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice from Ninja Turtles 2. And I'm like, I predicted the line it was. I'm very proud of that. He said he mentioned it to other people and none of them guessed it right. It's like, I knew what it was. I'm like, which is why he and I get along so well. Anyway.
So Anthony,
about how,
yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about? We keep getting derailed. I'm sorry.
Who?
You.
Oh, me.
Yeah. We're talking to you and we keep getting derailed. So I want to bring it back to you. If there's anything else
okay.
you want to
I'm
talk
not
about.
that interesting.
Well, no, I wanted to talk about your stand-up. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up for 9 years. And it's interesting you guys were talking about the difference between musicians that learn how to be funny as opposed to comedians that learn how to be musicians. And so I played in bands for at least 10 years before I started stand up, since I was like a teenager in high school.
Mhm.
So I was definitely a musician first. I was kind of funny, but the way a non-comedian is funny, I guess. I was always in the corner with like a quick line or whatever, which was sort of why I didn't really get tormented in high school, because I was funny enough to get by, because I was a weird musician kid. So
I was the weird
but
art
yeah,
kid.
so I started out playing in like punk rock bands and stuff, and
Nice.
then now doing stand up, and the first few years that I did stand up, I didn't really do a lot of songs. It still was a musical act. I would play chords and stuff behind my one-liners, but I probably didn't work on funny songs for like the first 5 years. Just tried to get better at writing jokes.
Man, I'll bet you the other comics hated that. You doing a song and then playing it, or doing a joke and then playing a chord as a stinger or something.
Yeah, a lot of comics didn't like it at first, and I people would even tell me, like, I auditioned for clubs and stuff. Like when I was still pretty new. I auditioned for Late Night at the Comic Strip, which is in New York. Which you know Late Night, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which it's essentially an open mic that happens after the show, but you have to be pre-approved for it. So the show ends and they're like, you guys can go home if you want. Otherwise, here are these guys. So I auditioned for that and I got passed for that. But the guy who was one of the bookers, he came up to me after and he's like, when I saw you walking to the stage with the guitar, I actually left the room because I thought it was going to be awful. But I heard you on the video monitor and it was actually funny. So, yeah.
Hey,
so
backhanded
stuff like
compliment.
Yeah. I hear stuff like that all the time, or somebody's like, normally I hate guitar acts, but you were really funny. It's like,
I normally hate rap, but I love what you do. I get that all the time, all the time. And I'm fine with it because I know rap isn't for everybody. So,
yeah. And neither am I. So I get that too. But yeah, that's what it's like trying to do stand up if you incorporate music at all.
Yep. Fun stuff. So you got anything you'd like to plug?
That's what makes me, I think it made me better. I tried to get funnier way harder.
That's good. Spite is good motivation.
Spite's gotten me to do most things in life. But you have to be. I can't, I'm walking around with a guitar everywhere I go. I had to be able to back it up.
Yeah. Awesome. So is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. So tomorrow, I'm putting out it's I guess an EP, but a video EP. So it's like sort of animated, but it's this live performance that I did. It's 2 songs and the story of the song before. So I don't know if that's going to be 4 tracks or 2 long tracks. But yeah, it's going to be this 10-minute cartoon that I'm putting out tomorrow. And it will be also the audio on Bandcamp. What is it? music.anthonykapfer.com if you want to pay for it on Bandcamp, or on my YouTube, which is just YouTube/Anthony Kapfer.
That sounds awesome. Who did the animation?
Yeah. What?
Who did the animation?
Well, sometimes I do cartoons, but I do like these kind of glorified stick figure, very minimal cartoons, almost like if you've seen like Don Hertzfeldt cartoons.
Oh yeah.
I am a banana.
Yeah. So I mean, he can actually do more than that, but that's like where my abilities end, is like the so I do cartoons like that, and I did an animated comedy special that I put out a couple years ago, which was a 30-minute comedy special that looked like that. But recently I found I wanted to do something like that again, but I found there's a, so I also, and this is a very long explanation, but I feel like it's important. Before I was making a living as an artist, I was a video editor in the daytime. So I was so I found this this Instagram filter, and I recorded some video on this green screen behind me, and the filter, it looks like it's almost like the kind of animation that I was doing, but mixed with the look from that movie, A Scanner Darkly.
Ah, okay.
So like you can film yourself, and then it makes it look like this kind of pencil drawing, or like the Aha music video.
Yeah.
So I did that on this green screen. I just filmed myself recreate. It was kind of hard because I have the audio recorded from this show, and I'm doing the story. So I'm like lip syncing just a spoken word thing, which is kind of rough. So I guess I did the animation, but also the person who created the Instagram filter that I used to make this video. So I just wanted to find an interesting way to, I didn't have video from this show, and I knew I wanted to release it, and now I can't get in front of audiences and shoot it again. So trying to be creative about it.
Cool. Well, best of luck with it. That sounds awesome.
Thanks.
We'll definitely be checking that out. All right. Let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Tom Reed wrote, "Glad to hear Luke's getting more work. I know Luke's been through some hard times, but his announcement on last week's show makes me feel better. Don't worry so much, Luke. Maybe you can get discounts on that marijuana stuff you'll be delivering. Heck, you'll probably make regular deliveries to Gilbert Gottfried's house. I miss listening to you live on Thursday, so thanks for the saved shows on Twitch." Thanks for tuning in, Tom. And that's all the feedback we got this week.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Joe J. Thomas.
Woo!
And Tuesday's song is by TV's Kyle.
Yay!
Is Tuesday's song the one about the Vanilla Ice lyric?
I don't know. I'll go in right now and see if I can look at it and determine it by the title.
And next week's Spotify playlist topic is the soundtrack to the debate. Basically songs that I thought of as the debate raged on. So anything somewhat related to that. All right.
Oh man, you could put my song in there. Running sucks. Why the hell did I do this?
I didn't think of that, but I totally could have.
I was just trying to think of what on earth would fit, and yeah.
I have a couple political songs. I have a couple argument tracks. I have a couple, things like that.
Nice.
So Luke,
the song by Kyle is not the one we were just talking about.
It's not the
but
one.
It's on a topic of a show that I have also done a song about. So there, you can all of the Luke Ski fans can ponder that.
All right, Sweats and Spinners, plug yourself one more time.
Check us out, sweatsandspinners.com. We're making videos and dropping some albums. We enter through the exit, December 2020.
All right, Kate, plug yourself one more time.
All right. You can find me on Spotify and Bandcamp and Facebook. In each place, it's just my name, Kate Hart. You got to spell it right, Katehart. You can find my album 2018. You can find my album Icebreakers, my first one, and the most recent Frenzy demos from which are pandemic songs written in the pandemic in 1 hour.
All right, Anthony, plug yourself one more time.
Oh, right. I forgot. I actually have an album called Cats Using Toilets. That's the cassette version. It came out right before the pandemic, early March. And it's on Spotify also, Cats Using Toilets.
Awesome. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And there's a whole bunch of other people.
So goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say, "For the love